Hi, my name is Leah. I'm 69 years old and in the 7th decade of my life. I know, how does that happen? This channel is my love letter to life. I would like to invite you to come along with me on this journey. Hopefully you will see something that answers a question about living an active life into your 80s and motivates you to really live out loud. I believe you should think about what you want for your older self. Envision how you would like to be 5 or even 10 years from now and start training for that life. The life choices you make now can impact how you live out your years. So this channel isn't just for those in their 70s. It's for people in their 50s contemplating what their life will look like in their retirement, or people in their 60s intentionally planning for a healthy, active decade, trying to avoid the illnesses that are related to poor eating habits and sedentary lifestyles. So welcome. In this series of videos, we're going to go to the gym and talk to a personal trainer about the questions that we all have as we get older and whether we can return to the gym or not.
So a super common question with a lot of folks, especially over 50, starting to feel like aging is impacting their lifestyle is, can I get back into the gym? Can I get back on the bike? Is it still possible for me to get stronger and feel better? The answer is 100% yes. A lot of times people feel like we kind of get to a certain age and I can no longer do any of the activities that I did when I was younger. For me, the biggest thing is if it's been a long time since you've been in the gym, take your time. I would much rather somebody leave the gym feeling like they could have done a little bit more than to leave the gym and feel like they overdid it. If somebody has been, training their whole life and they want to get into a different discipline, maybe you've been biking your whole life and you want to get into swimming, or you've been doing body weight exercises and you want to get into push-ups, you have a little bit more leeway there just because your body has been doing work consistently. But the biggest thing is if it's been a few years or it's a completely new endeavor, start very slow. If you have any kind of injuries, that's another thing that can really deter people from getting into the gym. You can work around just about any injury that you have. Sometimes those things can get better with weight training, like knees is another really common one where maybe there's a bit of arthritis or we've got sore knees from past sports injuries. That is something that absolutely can be worked around. We strengthen the muscles around the knee and the legs that help take some pressure off of the joints. There are always variations or modifications you can make. A lot of times you come in, you see other people working out and we just kind of copy what they're doing. That exercise might not be the best for you. So the biggest thing I would say is don't be discouraged if you come in and something doesn't feel right. And this is where it's good to talk to somebody who has maybe been down the road before. So you find somebody who maybe started where you started and you kind of ask what worked for them, what didn't work for them. But the biggest thing is start slow, make sure that you give yourself a couple of days of recovery, and that would be with anything, whether it's getting back on the bike or getting into the gym. Your body needs that recovery. So what we're doing when we get into the gym or get on the bike is we're basically doing a little bit of damage to the body, and we give it a couple of days to rest, we eat some good food, we sleep, and then we recover from that, and then we can repeat that process all over again. So definitely don't rush it. If you're starting any kind of new exercise program, make sure you're drinking ample amounts of water. Do a quick check to see how much protein you're getting in. It doesn't have to be crazy amounts, but that will be really important to help repair the body post-exercise. And biggest thing is if you have injuries, do a little bit of digging to see what you can do to help strengthen those areas. Nothing is set in stone. There's never a certain exercise that somebody needs to do. And there's always something you can do to modify to make sure it's more enjoyable, but also get you exactly where you want to go. And last but not least, building muscle, that can be done at any age, right? The process might be slower if we're older. It might be slower if we have injuries, but it can be done at any age, and it is highly beneficial for both the body, bone density, and the mind as well.
Thank you.